Undertale! Does anyone still care about that game? Well, you should, because it's probably one of the best games of our time, regardless of the hype. And one of the best things about Undertale is the music. Music is such a huge factor when it comes to how much I enjoy a video game, and in the case of Undertale, it's one of the most memorable things about the game, if not the most memorable thing. Truth be told, I've wanted to make this video for like a year now and just never got around to it. So let's count down the top 10 best music tracks from Undertale, according to me. Just keep in mind that this is all just my own opinion, so if you disagree with me, you're wrong! I mean, that's fine. You know, because opinions are like anuses. It's okay to post videos of yours on the internet, but if it's shitty, no one's gonna want to see it. That's how it goes, right? Also, spoiler warning, duh. Let's kick it off with this jammin' core theme. Honestly, one of the reasons I like the core theme so much is that it's got a pretty different feel from the rest of the Undertale soundtrack. It's got this cool techno trance thing going on that really makes it stand out in my mind. Stylistically, it feels so appropriate for an area that's completely mechanical, especially with how brightly colored the core is. It creates this feeling like you just walked in on a rave, but one that you weren't invited to. It's also a good thing this track is so cool because something's gotta keep you entertained while Alphys constantly interrupts your gameplay. Core is one of those songs that maintains a perfect balance of happy and eerie. Everything's going to be okay, right? You're okay with having lasers shot at you every 3 steps, right? Alphys, stop calling me or I'm deleting this number! Anyway, the core is a hella cool area of Undertale, and the music is equally hella, so that's why it's on the list. Here comes Napstablook! Ghost Fight is just so swinging, it makes me want to dance! Just kidding. I hate dancing. This is definitely one of the more unique songs on the Undertale soundtrack, and it just fits so well with sad little Napstablook and his quirky boss fight, if you can call it that. This fight starts when you encounter Napstablook laying down, yes, a ghost laying down in your path, saying Z out loud repeatedly, pretending to sleep. You attempt to move him by force, and the battle begins. Napstablook mostly just cries because he's clearly not feeling up to it right now. All the while, this jazzy upbeat tune plays, totally contrasting Napstablook's melancholy demeanor. It's not much of a fight. You either manage to cheer him up or you can attack him, at which point he reveals that you can't damage a ghost and he was just lowering his HP as to not be rude. What a sweetheart. The ghost fight track, along with Napstablook himself, are just so endearing and memorable, I just had to include them on this list. As someone who likes to say a phrase and then find another random phrase that rhymes with it, slimes your shit, mimes a fit, limes are lit, I very much appreciate the subtle stupidity of the fact that Thundersnail rhymes with Undertale. Blunderfail. Wonderjail. But more importantly, Thundersnail is a super jammin', albeit very short track. I think what I like so much about this song is the build-up. First it's just the melody, then the bass track comes in, then the percussion kicks in, and the song goes full swing. Plus it ends with this cool little drum breakdown that does a good job transitioning back to the beginning if you're listening to it on loop while you write the portion of your video on Thundersnail like I did. The song just gets me hyped. And the best part is, this is the soundtrack for snail racing, which just seems so contrasting. Honestly, I feel like in every entry so far, I've mentioned contrast. And that's absolutely an ongoing theme in Undertale. Contrast, visually, musically, and morally. And Thundersnail is yet another little slice of that. As a massive Mega Man X fan, it's impossible for me to not like this song. Whether or not it's fair game for this list, however, is up for debate, because Song That Might Play When You Fight Sans isn't actually in Undertale. It is, however, on the official soundtrack, and it's one of my absolute favorites, so screw it. It's on the list. Honestly, I probably would have put it higher up, but that kind of felt unfair considering how many great songs there are that are actually in the game. Considering the title, Song That Might Play When You Fight Sans, maybe this was another potential candidate alongside Megalovania for the Sans fight. Anyway, if you're wondering why this song has anything to do with Mega Man X, it's because most of the instrumentation seems to have been ripped right out of Mega Man X2 or X3. Just listen to the similarities. I gotta say, I'm pretty bummed this song didn't make it into the game. Maybe there was going to be a neutral run Sans fight, but it got scrapped at the last minute. But regardless, I love the energy of this song, and it's easily one of the best on the soundtrack in my opinion. The date with Papyrus was without a doubt one of the most hilarious, memorable, and awkward parts of Undertale, and the dating fight music specifically stands out to me. It's just an amped up version of the dating start music, which has a similar melody to a bunch of other songs in Undertale, so it immediately has a familiar feel to it. It also seems to be structured similarly to the objection music in the Phoenix Wright games, evidence of which is just the fact that Papyrus yells, "What you just said is invalid!" You know, like, objection! That entire date is just a roller coaster of hilarity and cringe, and the way the different music tracks are used during the date gives it this really overly dramatic anime feel, and every time this particular track kicks in, it just fills me with determination. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist. So back when Undertale was the king of YouTube, I made a little video called Why You Should Kill Toriel, and it was basically about the fact that if you're going into Undertale blind and you play it like you're playing any other RPG, there's a good chance you're gonna accidentally kill Toriel, and how that's a huge part of the learning process of Undertale. Your actions have consequences. This isn't just any old RPG. This game is gonna take everything you think you know about the genre and turn it on its head. This is one of my favorite things about Undertale, and for that reason, the Toriel fight holds a special place in my heart, and the music during this fight, Heartache, only adds to the drama. This track immediately sounds tense and a bit somber, and it's your first sign that this isn't your typical RPG, prove your strength, slap on the wrist situation. And unless you've been paying really close attention to the game mechanics and what the characters have said to you up to this point, this fight is gonna end with a corpse. This track tells the player, buckle the fuck up, kiddo, because you're in for some heartache. Speaking of Toriel, I absolutely love the track Fallen Down that plays when Toriel is interacting with the player at the beginning of the game. It's just such a comforting and heartwarming melody, yet it still has that tinge of sadness that Undertale music is oh so masterful at pulling off. Well, Fallen Down is great and all, but the reprise at the end of the true pacifist route is like a million times better. It adds an entire new section, adding in the melody of the Once Upon a Time track from the game's opening, and creating this amazing crescendo of feels. Oh, the feels! Honestly though, I think what really got me into Fallen Down was the remix of it from Game Chops and Holder, which is this really awesome electronica version of the song that just captures the feel of Fallen Down so well while being extra stylized at the same time. Actually, that entire album of remixes is epic, and this isn't the last time I'm going to mention it in this video, so spoilers? Okay, so there have already been plenty of boss themes on this list, and I just want to warn you all, this isn't the last one. This isn't even the second to last one. Yeah, I'm a sucker for boss battles and high-energy video game music, and Spear of Justice delivers on both so majestically. It's easily one of the more complex tracks in Undertale, with lots of different sections before the song loops. The following is a list of the parts of Spear of Justice that are awesome. All of them. Honestly though, UNDYNE is one of the coolest, most badass characters in Undertale. She's built up as a powerful warrior from early on in the game, and you're taught to fear her, and rightly so. UNDYNE will absolutely mop the floor with your ass if you're not careful. I know I said all parts of this track are amazing and epic, but the intro in particular stands out to me as just this heroic punch in the face. No, that's literally what Toby Fox was quoted as wanting this song to sound like, and I think that's fitting. Alright, on to the next music track. Oh yeah, what's that I hear? Can't start my day without a little bone trousel. This track is just phenomenal. I don't even know what genre of music this is. It's just amazing. It's simple, it's catchy, it's got the chiptune elements that I love, but then it launches into this less chiptuney second half that sounds like a chorus of violins. And I mean, Papyrus is easily the most charming and endearing character in this entire game, and this weird mix of goofy and badass music just fits his personality so well. That entire fight is just a treat. I love how it starts out with like a simpler version of bone trousel at first, but once he unleashes his attack, making you blue, it kicks into high gear with this upbeat, catchy tune that keeps you from ever wanting to possibly harm this adorable little angel, which makes it that much worse when you're playing the genocide route and you have to. This is a song that the Game Chops and Holder album really nailed. Like, really nailed. It's this sick, high-tempo drum and bass track. It's probably the most badass track on that album. It easily meets all my standards. Alright, Undertale is full of amazing music, and there was no way I could give every song the credit it deserves in one top 10, so here are a few honorable mentions for you. Alright, I know it's fucking obvious and everybody probably saw it coming, but holy shit biscuits, Megalovania blows my tits off! I legitimately tried not to put this at number 1. I didn't want to be another unoriginal top 10 jerking off Megalovania for the billionth time, but you cannot deny this song's girth! I seriously sat at my desk for an hour before writing this, listening to Bone Trousel and Megalovania on loop, one after the other, trying to decide if there was some way in hell Bone Trousel might win me over. But no, Megalovania wins every time. Now, that's not to say Megalovania is some masterpiece of musical composition. It's actually pretty formulaic and predictable and isn't particularly complicated, but I'll tell you what it is. It's 100% perfectly crafted final boss music. This song just does such an insanely good job setting the stage for Sans to exact vengeance upon you for the genocide of his people. And if it scares you into fucking up the fight and dying several times, well then it's done its job. This right here is what boss music ought to sound like. Wow, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was long overdue. I've wanted to make this video for like a year, maybe more. Undertale came out in 2015, right? It's 2017 now, so it's been a while. I had fun making it. I had fun rocking out to Undertale music. It's always a good time. So if you like what you see, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for weekly content just like this, or I'll kill you! As always, a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, especially Rackdy7, The Icarus Gambit, Donut Senpai, Angel Freisinger, Totter, Kayoya, The NM22, Mika Bunny, Jake Hester, Stooge, Maro Ochi, and Ragnoramus. You guys are awesome. You guys make this all possible. You guys make it so I can do YouTube as living and not go broke and starve to death, because that would suck. So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for all you do. See ya!